Hey, traders at themarketwizards.com, about 2:40, Tuesday, the 23rd of January, 2024, reminding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose. Well, this has been quite a day. Just want to take a look at a couple of ideas, share with our team. Anybody else who wants to take a look over our shoulder. Basically, we're looking at ORBO. This was our fast ORBO. And we can note that obviously we had to drive early. I had suggested that 23 area, make sure you're paid. Turned out that's been the high of the day so far. Put that in perspective in a minute. And we note that we were able to come down. Mike Tyson Open, tested several times, could not come back down and substantially break that 34, the prior day's low. And then bounce had a nice bounce at lunch, which is typical. If you can't go one way, then most traders are going to try the other direction. And currently, we're still back inside that opening range, and I'm feeling that it's all important to hold this 58 to 60 area. If not, we can take another test down below. I think the high and low are already in for the day. Let's take a peek at this ORBO and show you a couple of things we were looking at this morning and why it was such a tough trade idea. Okay, if we extend the time from 30 seconds to 3 minutes, which I like to do, this is our medium ORBO. And it gives us a little better balance. And I know guys like Pax, who I really respect and who are super traders and have their own methodology. I certainly respect what they do and how they trade. But I've also learned to respect my own work. And that's the hard part, stand on the shoulders of giants like that and then come up with your own methodology. So for me, we have not substantially been able to get back underneath that 428 area, which was the ORBO on a 3-minute basis. We just nicked it at up here and came, just before the open, and then bang. And I think that shell shocked a lot of traders who probably loaded up trying to think that we were just going to plunge. And then we get the lunch push, knockout stops, but we come right back to par. We come right back to test the all-important 60 to 70 zone for this week. So currently, the market is trying to hold, obviously, the AVWAP and trying to keep testing and pushing up to test this 80 to 85 area. We can see rejected, profits taken. And the morning was all about finding support. The afternoon seems to be all about trying to find resistance. And this is our deep ORBO. And for a sustained move, I want to see all of those ORBOs in agreement. And this was the problem I found today in just assuming we could just keep cascading south. We just could not bust that initial low. And this setting is you can use 12 or 15. I'm using 12 after watching Fari Hamzi for so many years and what he's done with his work. I try to learn from him and balance out my ideas with someone like that who's a master at this. So currently I've explored both, and I like the 12. I think 12 minutes, first 12 minutes. So in our trading, that means you want to be paid for sure by that first 12 minutes, because a lot of times traders who have fast profits, they're going to grab them, and that causes the bounce and the reaction. You can see the standard deviation bands up here. So I think currently our system pivot of 422 is trying to hold. We're obviously trying to push and test to 500 before we're done. And let's take a look at one more chart before we break. So I hope this helps show you our ORBO methodology and why we think all three of these are helpful to balance us out. Lunch high back up here at 94. One more time, testing this IB high and the ORBO high. And looking at a 1-day range, 96.5. That was actually paid for sure in that earlier drive. Second test up there obviously is testing it one more time in the big 500. And we had told our traders we thought 50 was the stop for the longs, trying to hold the 50 and obviously come back up. If we could get back up above this 80 area, then trying for the 17.5s plus. So this is a 1-day chart. For better balance, we like to use a 2-day chart. This one is actually a 3 that I put on. We could see the importance on this chart where that 525 was this morning. And obviously where our low, that 09 area. So this 06 seems to be supportive. And then of course that 20 to 34 area. So anybody long side here should be paid coming into the big pivot 17,500. If you're looking at a 2-day, then 97.25 is going to be the middle. So we felt that this 50 to 53 is important to hold for this drive to get up here, test that area. And anybody that had the good fortune of getting this long side drive paid for sure. PFS. So it's by looking at a multitude of charts that I think gives us an edge. I know a lot of traders have their own style. Some traders like Pax don't even use charts. They're just so good. They get a feel for the tape. I'm much more visual oriented, having never been in the pits. So for me, these are the type things that I notice, and I want the meat. Okay, the meat of this move is 22 to 500. Pivot 461, as we've said. And we wanted to see the market above 461, 466, and 471 to consider it a solid drive. Hope that explains a little more about our system, what we look for, the things that are important to us, and the idea of taking a little something out of the swings every day. And when we're wrong, get the heck out. There's our IB. Very narrow range day. And partly because of that egregious move on Friday. All right, anybody that is shorting, get what you can. It's the end of the day. Some profit taking coming into 3 o'clock. And it's pretty neutral type day. Going to play off of obviously the settle at 58.5, 60 area. That should be the key for the rest of the day. All right. Hope you're having a good one.